out here mainly to keep people safe, make sure people go home without being hurt at the end of the day.
This week on Kentucky Afield. Being on the water is relaxing and enjoyable, but it can also be dangerous.
Getting ready to go pull this boat over.
We're on boat patrol with conservation officers to see how they're keeping people safe. Next, we'll see where all of Lake Cumberland stripers come from.
We have 8 individual concrete runs in the hatchery, so we can shoot them off the truck into those runs.
Then, we're bow fishing the tailwaters of Lake Barkley.
Oh, we got one, free one. Just jumped right in the boat.
It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Kentucky Afield. Every week, Kentucky Afield brings you features on hunting and fishing across the state.
That's my pup. I'm proud of him.
Here he comes right there. Let's get ready. Get ready.
Look at that. What a nice fish. Hey, we dug it up right there.
We did.
There he is. Ooh, a nice one, too. Boy, he's healthy.
What do we got?
That was awesome. Got the first kill.
Got one big smallmouth.
Hey, nice.
Double point, they're in there.
There they go.
Oh my gosh. Woo! Look at that joker. Look at that. Oh, beautiful. Whoa, this is a good one.
That's better than good, Chad.
Hello, and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. The Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife conservation officers work hard to ensure safety on the water. If you're going to be hitting the water this Labor Day weekend, make sure that your boat is in good working order and that your passengers are riding in a safe position.
Hey, man.
Howdy.
I'm Officer Abrams with Fish and Wildlife. We're at Taylorsville Lake today in Spencer County. I'm assigned to Oldham County. Officer Casper here is assigned to Spencer County.
This lake is one of the busiest in the state, mainly because of the proximity to Louisville. It just draws a lot of people from, our biggest metro area. We get a lot of people out here. Our mission is to enforce the hunting, fishing, and boating laws in the state. This time of the year, it's mainly boating. We're out here mainly to keep people safe, make sure people go home without being hurt at the end of the day.
While we're out here doing boat patrol, it doesn't mean that we ignore 150 charges, which is hunting and fishing. Even on boat patrol, if we see someone fishing, whether it's on the dam or from a boat, we'll go ahead and check them, and if we have any issues there, we will address them. Howdy. Y'all catching any? Itty bitty sunfish. All right, we're gonna pull up right here beside you real quick, get you checked out and be out of your hair, okay?
We did a safety compliance check after checking their fishing license, make sure they had life jackets for everybody on the boat, had a fire extinguisher, sound producing device.
Last thing, how about an air horn or a whistle, some sort of noise making device?
I've got a horn on the boat.
Give me a little toot. All right, guys, well, be careful, rest of your day, have a good day, and hopefully you catch some fish, okay?
Thank you, guys. Have a safe one.
Hey, you too,
You
thanks.
too. Happy 4th.
Thank you.
That dog.
Dog, where's dog?
Over there on the swim platform.
That's a good dog.
You gotta love the dogs.
Yeah, I love them. We don't deserve them, Lord knows. Hello. Oh, you got a fishing license handy on you? No, that's a Florida license. You need to have a Kentucky fishing license. You don't have a Kentucky fishing license? No. One bluegill. A few more and you have a pretty good sandwich. All righty. Awesome. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
You have a good one. Good luck. You guys got a couple fishing licenses on you?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So far, we've checked a few fishing licenses. We noticed everyone on the boat so far is being safe and having fun. We love to see that. We're all about fun, but we'll make sure that you're being safe about it too. That's the big thing, is safety out here.
So like that girl sitting on that pontoon, you'll see that on a plane going down the lake. And that's the kind of thing we're looking for. I mean, in the end, we're out here to make sure everybody's safe.
I don't know if he's got a spotter on the boat.
Yeah.
doing?
Good, sir. I'm Officer Abrams with Fish and Wildlife.
All right.
The reason we're stopping you is because we don't see you got a spotter on this boat for the tubers there.
Okay.
And
What's that mean?
someone to watch the people on the tube while you're towing them. Do you have any sort of mirrors or anything like that? No? Okay.
So next time I have to do that then? I have to have somebody that's driving while someone's watching them?
Yeah. Correct, if you don't have the mirrors.
So basically one of you guys would have to come in here and watch the other one on the tube so that way we can do it that way. We have to have a spotter to be safe.
So a basic boat inspection is us just making sure you have all the required safety equipment on your boat. Life jacket for everyone on board, a Type 4 throwable if your boat is 16 feet or over. All boats are also required to have a fire extinguisher on board, and the fire extinguisher has to be serviceable, meaning it cannot be expired.
Okay, yep, that's good.
In addition, all boats have to have a noise-making device, whether it's a horn, an air horn, a whistle, or a bell.
Okay. So yeah, one of them is going to have to come in and be your spotter. So when someone falls off, they see it. In the future, if you get a rearview mirror to mount right there, you wouldn't have to do that. Okay. Okay. All right. So y'all be safe.
Thanks, guys.
Yep.
Happy 4th of July.
You too. Be
You
careful.
too.
Whenever you're towing someone, whether it's tubing, skiing, anything like that, you're gonna have someone on board with the captain, keeping an eye on the tuber to keep them safe, make sure they can alert the captain when he falls off. Big safety thing. Again, if you don't have someone there to watch them, you need to have mirrors like Officer Catherine was explaining, so you can keep an eye on the tuber.
Well, there you go. Let's go get them. We are.
Yeah, she's holding a kid. Kid's got a life jacket on, but she was holding the kid while she's up on the bass seat.
We saw a person riding in a high-rise bass seat on a bass boat. Above idle speed, it's an illegal, unsafe position.
Good. I'm Officer Abrams with Fish and Wildlife. The reason we're pulling y'all over, when the boat's underway, like it just was, you can't have anyone sitting up on an elevated bass seat. Okay? So hang tight just a second. I got you. I want you to get your fingers pinched or fall in or nothing. Quite often we see people riding on the bow of the boat or the stern of the boat. The bow of the boat's gonna be the front of the boat, stern's gonna be the back. That's a violation and is extremely unsafe. Hypothetically, if your boat's underway and you hit a wake, you have a rider riding in one of those unprotected positions and they fall overboard, a lot can happen real quick. So we definitely take that very seriously.
Make sure you do one of the two, okay? All the information you need is on the back, okay? All right.
Thank you, guys.
Be careful.
Y'all have a safe holiday, okay?
Appreciate y'all. Hope everything goes well today.
Yes, ma'am. Getting ready to go pull this boat over.
Yep. Stop. 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 Go ahead and throw it in neutral for me.
How are you today?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, thanks.
Good. I'm Officer Abrams, Fish and Wildlife. Look, the reason we're pulling y'all over is because y'all are taking off underway and you have a rider hanging outside the protective gunwale of the boat. Okay? That's a big safety thing.
Okay.
I'm sure you can imagine you hit a wake or something like that, he falls overboard, you're underway.
Yeah.
You can get real bad real quick, okay? Hang tight 1 second. Captain, you got some ID on you?
When it comes to a pontoon, especially on the front of the pontoon outside of the protective railing, if you fall off of that, you're just going in between the pontoons straight back to the motor. And we've seen the aftermath of those types of things, and that's why we're very serious about them, and we stop and we write citations for that.
A little 2-in-1 action there. Same exact reason we pulled the first boat over. That's a really big safety thing. If, God forbid, something happens while someone's on the outside that protective gunwale, and get real bad real quick. So we take this very seriously.
We've flown them out of here to U of L for that. When they go off the front of a pontoon and get sucked in between the pontoons, and it takes them straight back to the motor. We don't have a lot of idle speed areas on this lake, but we have a few. The main one being by the marina. And we get a lot of complaints from the marina about people violating that no wake zone. So we patrol it often while we're on the lake, mainly because of the damage that it could do to the marina and the boats tied up in the marina. Well, there you go.
Breaking wake pretty big there. Back her up.
Make sure they don't switch drivers.
All right. Talking about the no wake right there?
Yeah.
Yep, that would be the exact reason why we're stopping you, okay? Yeah.
Actually talking to the baby right here when it happened.
All right, I'm Officer
There it is.
Casper, Fish and Wildlife. Reason we pulled you over was because of the wake.
Yes, sir.
Can we see a life jacket for everybody on board, please?
Yep.
Life jackets are very important. When something bad happens on the water, it happens really fast, and you don't have time to put on a life jacket. Basically, on a vessel, everyone on board has to have a life jacket that they can put on. If you're under the age of 12, that child has to be wearing the life jacket while the boat is underway.
So the other issue is the infant doesn't have a life jacket on.
Okay.
Anyone under the age of 12 has to have a life jacket on at all times.
Okay. We bought it, we had it.
Do you have one that fits?
Yeah.
Let's see that.
On a jet ski, anytime the jet ski is underway, anybody riding the jet ski has to be wearing a life jacket, or a PFD, which stands for personal flotation device. If you're skiing and tubing, the person being towed behind the boat on the skis or the tube must be wearing a life jacket, regardless of age. If we see a violation like that, we definitely stop them, because the safety aspect of it, to prevent injury or something worse. And of course, it is against the law, so whenever we see it, we are going to enforce it.
All right, sir. What I did is I wrote you for the no wake zone and child under 12 not wearing a PFD, okay?
I've had to work a few drownings in my career. I've only been on a little over 3 years now, and I have already had to work a handful of drownings. A lot of them, if not all of them, could have been prevented with a life jacket on.
I love being a conservation officer. It's one of those jobs that I believe I was born for. I love to hunt, fish, I love boating, and that's what we do. We enforce hunting, fishing, and boating.
Ever since I was a kid, I realized I wanted to do something with the outdoors. And when I found out there was essentially a police officer for the outdoors, for people that hunt, fish, and boat, I knew that's what I wanted to do. Ever since I've been hired on, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be.
I just love to get out there and do my part to keep people safe and ensure that hunting, fishing, boating will be around for my children.
Every single year, over 500,000 stripers are raised at Minor Clark Fish Hatchery and released in the waterways across the state of Kentucky. I'm here today with Scott Barrett. Scott, how you doing?
Doing good.
We're here today to talk about stripers.
Yeah.
Stripers, that's been an interesting topic here in the state of Kentucky. I'll tell you what, they go in several bodies of water, obviously Lake Cumberland being the one that gets a good majority of our stripers. Tell me the process of what you guys do and how do you take a striper? Because it's such a unique fish in the wild. You guys are doing this at a fish hatchery, but that's a fish that spends some of its time in salt water, right?
Right, we have them in 1 acre ponds. We will start those ponds draining at least 24 hours in advance, and we'll creep the pond down slowly so it gives all the fish time to kind of come down towards the deeper end. And our ponds they start out shallow and end up, they have a gradual slope down into this catch basin. We'll crack them open, drain them down, and once we get them all down into the kettle there, at that point we can get in with a seine and seine those out. We have a lot of help down there. We have some big tubs, like garbage cans, you can imagine. We flip them out of the seine into those cans, and then we have employees carry them up the steps. We have these smaller tanks on our pickup trucks, and they'll pour them into there. We have O2 rolling on those tanks and some good clean water. When we get done, we'll take those up the hatchery and into our main building there in our tank room. And we got a big pipe that you hook up to the smaller tank that lets us shoot them off into these tanks. We have 8 individual concrete runs in the hatchery, so we can shoot them off the truck into those runs. And at that point, we can begin to process them. We'll do sample counts on each individual size and get an idea how many per pound for each size class. That way we can weigh them and put them onto larger hauling trucks to go out, either that afternoon or the next day a lot of the times.
It's an amazing process. When I hear you walking through all the time, effort, and energy of feeding and draining and grading, it's like having a big garden.
It is.
But your output is fish.
Or fish, yeah. It's
Live
the
fish.
same principle. It's farming, but we're raising fish,
We've been talking about stripers, striped bass, and priority one is always Lake Cumberland. And that's the area you've been working for how many years now?
17 years now.
17 years.
Yep.
So how many years have we been stocking Lake Cumberland now?
We've been stocking, doing experimental stockings all the way back into the 50s and 60s.
What makes Lake Cumberland, like priority one, such a perfect destination for stripers?
So striped bass need a cool, oxygenated water, and Lake Cumberland, being as deep as it is, has a lot of cold water available. And so we've got this two-layer fishery where we've got our warm water species like your black bass and crappie and bluegill and sunfish. But then we also have a really cold, oxygenated water below that we can have a good walleye fishery, a great striped bass fishery. And so that's what makes Cumberland is so awesome is we do have both of those features.
So when you guys go to Stockholm, how do you decide what part of the lake? Do you have to be near deep water? I mean, do they do really well the first couple of years not being in certain areas, or do you spread them out from dam to headwaters?
We actually spread them out. We have 10 different locations that we stock around Lake Cumberland. We don't like to put all of our eggs in one basket. So we stock about 50,000 at the 10 different locations. So we're doing 500,000 fish total in Lake Cumberland each year now.
Okay. So 3-year-old fish, that first one at 500,000, you're talking about, these fish are legal, right, at this point?
Yes. So any fish, like the fish we stock in 2023, they're gonna be legal size going into the end of 2025.
Okay.
So they're very fast growers in Lake Cumberland. It doesn't take them long to reach 22-inch size limit.
I really appreciate all your hard work and efforts.
We like doing it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This night out on the water gave a whole new meaning to lights, camera, action. All right, you want to step on in? So you two do not need an introduction to one another. You've seen each other at many archery tournaments throughout the state for many years now, huh?
Yep.
Well, today we're gonna try to shoot some fish. Now, T, I know you shot fish a lot. This is your rig, so you spend a lot of time shooting fish.
Yep.
And you obviously shoot a bow and arrow a lot, but this is your first time, isn't it?
Yeah, this is my first time bow fishing.
You're very familiar with this bow, and I know you're a much better archer than I am. But the main thing is when you put this arrow on, you've got this stopper right here. You have to make sure that's pointed up, otherwise it's gonna hit your rest. It's really gonna throw you off. The next thing is make sure that this is definitely out here in front of your reel, okay? You want this out here. You're not gonna have a lot of time to aim. You're gonna see a fish maybe a second or two, and it's point and shoot. Aim low, aim low, aim low. You guys are really unique in the fact that both of you have shot a perfect 300 score.
My first 300, I was kind of shocked. Whenever I shot it, it was kind of crazy at the time. It just kind of happened. I knew I wanted to shoot college archery somewhere, but I wasn't sure, and I was looking at a few different ones, and finally decided to go to Lindsey Wilson, and went up there and talked to the coach and got a scholarship.
You get him? Yep, fish on. That's what you want right there. Find you one that, there you go. That is an Asian carp shot right in the face. That's the way to get started right there.
On the other side of that concrete, there's a bunch of fish. Just shoot into them.
I think you got one on, Paige.
Yes, she does.
All right, grab your line, pull him on in. What you got? Asian carp. Hey, your first fish ever right there. Nice job. We pulled up here and you see these dead floating fish here, and we looked over and there were just tons of fish laying right under them. And you smoked it. That is awesome. Got one.
Headshots on them.
Headshot. Nice. She got that fish. Look at there.
In the face.
Right in the head.
Right in the top of the head.
That's how you do it right there now. Now that fish just come up and boiled and you was fast enough to get on it. Now that was an awesome shot.
You know, flash the lights.
It's not quite dark yet, but if you strobe the lights, what do you expect to happen?
They'll start jumping, it scares them.
You might want to stay in the middle of the boat. Get ready. There you go. Now, you see why they're talking about people getting hit by these things.
I was going across the lake one night, wide open. One jumped up, hit me right dead in the chest. It was probably a 10-pound silver.
Tell you what, it'll take the wind out of you. Something hit the bottom.
Yeah, that was a fish.
Oh, we got one, free one. Just jumped right in the boat.
Right down through here is usually pretty good. Bugs are terrible.
Here we go. Fish on. Oh, come loose. Right there. Did you see that? You win some, you lose some. Oh, right here.
yeah.
See that right there? Oh, that was a good try. Got one. Oh, coming your way. There we go. That joker got us under the trolling motor. Tell it, it's hard to see them tonight, but that fish actually comes from under the boat, swam up, so got lucky. That's one of the easier shots to make when they're swimming alongside with you. Got one on right up here. There you go. We got fish on the left, fish on the right, fish jumping in.
Yeah, I got a feeling they're about to go crazy.
All right, Paige, you ready?
I'm about to hit them.
Did you get any? Oh my goodness. Paige, nice job. What do you think about that?
That was awesome.
I think we got a couple. Oh my goodness. Now, that was pretty exciting.
Oh yeah.
Did you have any idea it was going to happen like that? Because I didn't think we'd have that many jumping at us.
No.
Oh my goodness. So what do you think? You've shot a bow tens of thousands of times.
Yeah.
First time out on a boat fishing. You've had some pretty crazy experiences already.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
What do you think? Something you think you want to try again?
Definitely. I'm definitely having a blast. This is really fun.
You gonna bring a helmet and a mouthpiece next time?
Yeah, gotta prepare better.
So you obviously have shot a bow very, very similar to this a bunch. So do you
Yeah.
think that helps prepare you to do this?
Yeah, I think so, because I'm familiar with the setup of the bow, so it definitely makes me feel more comfortable shooting it.
The pace and the time of a full draw and release is a lot different than going to the line and waiting for a whistle. And when
Yeah,
they
you don't
come
have a
up
lot
and they
of time
start
to
jumping
think
at you,
here.
you just go at it. Uh-oh.
Ah! They're back.
It's a crazy thing. It is hard to react and pick one fish out while you're dodging them and you're just in awe. It's hard to pick one out and shoot it.
So again, the boat will catch enough. Ah! I guess.
It's a lot of fun and a lot of energy when they start jumping in a boat.
Yeah.
I can't tell how much I appreciate you guys bringing us out and showing us this. I know you shoot fish all the time.
Yeah, quite often.
I'd love to sit out here all night and do this, but I believe the buckets are full. And hey, you guys got to get to school, don't you?
Yeah.
So this is a lot of fun. Keep up the hard work in NASP, and you know what? It's going to pay off. It's already taking you to college. You've got a scholarship waiting on you, and you can get away from shooting paper and get out here and do this. Thanks a lot, guys. Nice meeting you.
You too.
You as well.
Now let's check in and see who else has been out having fun in this week's Ones That Didn't Get Away. Here we have Kathy Williams with a nice 20-pound striper that was caught on the Cumberland River while using artificial bait. Nice job. Check out this beautiful muskie that was caught by Riley Richmond. This fish was caught on Big South Fork. Congratulations. Here we have John Carr with a nice hybrid bass that was caught on the river. Nice job. Here we have Bailey Fields from Falmouth, Kentucky with her first squirrel of the season that she got on opening day. Here we have Ashley Kane, who was kayak fishing at Peabody WMA and caught this nice largemouth bass. Here we have Colton with a very nice bluegill that was caught in a farm pond in Clarkson, Kentucky. Nice job. Hey, just a reminder, Kentucky's dove season opens this week on September the 1st. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.
Do you like to fish in Kentucky? Then you'll love the new Fishboat KY app. Search for new bodies of water, fishing regulations, and fishing reports. You can even save your fishing license. The Fishboat KY app has all of that and more, all in the palm of your hands. What are you waiting for? Download it from your app store and go plan your next fishing adventure right now.